queued up or no? We in the building. We in the building. We in the building. Chief One Love podcast. You know, this is gonna be a special one today. I got a special guest by the way of the state of Michigan. Went to Michigan State, was able to accomplish some things in his dreams. NBA, played professionally overseas. Was one of those guys when I was younger that I knew about, that I used to go watch at Michigan State while he was there, while I was in high school. I mean, pretty much, yeah, while I was in high school. And he was at State. And I was looking maybe to perhaps play with this guy, maybe 1 year at State, but you know how life goes. But I want to introduce the world to Ray Weathers. If you don't know him, now know him. If you didn't, and if you do, reintroduce yourself, man. What's good, bro?
What's going on, bro, man? First of all, I'm just blessed and grateful for y'all to have me on your platform, man. And yeah, that would have been something amazing if we could have played together. We probably could have gotten into that. Yeah, we would have gotten into that tournament for sure. So
what, bro?
Yeah, shout out to you for what you're doing. But yeah, we could have used you on that wing for sure.
Man, let's go, man. I think we're gonna have a good one today. You know, when me and you get on the line, bro, we can talk for hours, bro, because we just have that energy, but it's that passion still there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we connect on so many levels. It's just freaking ridiculous. You know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt.
But let's start the show out, man. I'm glad you here. Where you are you in by way of what state you in, bro?
Yeah, so I'm out in AZ. I'm back into the stumping grounds where it all began as far as my professional career. When I left Michigan State, preparing for Detroit Pistons, I came out here to train and prepare for my professional career. So I spent my entire pro career in AZ, and obviously left and came back, and I'm back on the third tenure. So, but I'm out back in the valley, man.
Out in the valley, man. It's actually good to be out that way, though, man. I
Yeah,
love it out
man.
there during these times in Michigan, bro.
Oh man,
Man,
it's lovely.
I love it out that way.
I got them. Listen, I'm looking outside of my house, got the mountain view and all that with the palm trees, so I ain't even mad.
Hey, listen, man. I got a quick story, man. It's so funny. I went on live when I was in. Remember we talked about I was up in. What's the spiritual vortex up there? What's the not Mesa, but what?
Gilbert, Tempe, Glendale, Chandler.
No, the spiritual vortex. I was in. It was none but mountains, though, bro.
Oh, you must be talking about Sedona.
Sedona. I'm out in Sedona, bro. Nothing but beautiful mountains. I went live, and when you travel, you can't take certain things for granted. Some people don't know what's beautiful out there because they be in the hood or the city. And I went live. One of my cousins was like, "What you looking at? What's beautiful?" I said, and people got on there was just like, "Are you serious, bro? Do you see what I'm looking at across? I'm showing y'all what's going on out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but it's totally beautiful. The houses is in the mountains. Arizona, beautiful.
Yeah, I try to tell people, man, coming from where we come from, it's like when you get out here, because we down literally in the valley, it's like the sky is big. It's like everything is higher up, everything is bigger, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, the clarity, you see so many different colors and stuff like that, man. So like if you never got a chance to visit AZ, man, it really is a beautiful place. And like everything is new, the roads and all that. So at one time, I think it could have been the fastest growing state in the country, and I think it's still around the top 5 right now as we speak.
Yeah, it is, man. It's growing in plenty of ways, and I'm in the Canada lane, and I know it's getting big, and we trying to actually do some stuff out there in the AZ and get the brand in Arizona, though, man.
Got you, man. Listen, I hear you.
And let's get to you, man. Let's get to your life. You didn't get a chance to cue that last one? Man, let's get to your life, man. Let's just show a little when you was in the CBA, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
See
sir.
what before I get to this clip, what people don't understand about the CBA, right?
Come on.
Before it got diffused and defunct. I'm not gonna bring up his name. I'm not gonna say the guy's name because he's a legend out here. Keep that off the record. But CBA was a premier league. You couldn't even call it no semi-pro. How people be trying to call stuff semi. It was nothing semi about it because you was getting six figures, close to six figures, and you was able to play in the U.S. if you were not on an NBA team. So being able to still get paid that good amount, not to have to go overseas, and the league was a premier league because a lot of those guys that actually entered into the NBA was in the CBA.
Correct.
And the CBA was the league, man. I'm
listen, man. It was the farm league to get to the league. You got to talk about tradition. I tell people, do your homework. Phil Jackson, George Karl, what is it called? Craig Elo, Mario Elie. I could just drop players all day that had to go through that route. So it was the farm league to the NBA. That's why it was called the CBA. So the history and tradition from players and coaches is unbelievable. Jimmy King, Ray Jackson, a lot of the Fab Five. So it was. I was fortunate to be a part of that lead. I think obviously the NBA pivoted to the D League, and like I said, we're not going to drop no names of why that took place.
Right.
It was a great league, man. You had to be hungry. You had to be a dog. You had to be a great player, man, to be, obviously get a good job overseas. Big paying money or get to the league, man. No doubt.
That league was tough because you had to be NBA ready because it was about being on the NBA page, even though you was there, but then I guess they was feeling like guys wasn't as hungry to get to the NBA, and the CBA talent was rising. And
listen, brother Rob, we have most rosters when I play have 4 or 5 guys already had 5 or 6 years in the NBA. That's number one. And something happened where they had to try to get back to the league. And then you was a top college player from top universities trying to get into this league. You know what I'm saying? It was the hardest league that I've ever played in because guys were so hungry. Your mind is different when you got to catch a red-eye flight, got a 12 o'clock game. You stand in regular hotels, just like what the G League is today. So it was a grind, man, for sure.
Yeah, man. I remember my my CBA run, bro. It was an experience, man. Like I was out your way. Well, I was out towards Muskegon. Well, Magic Johnson way, because he owned the team with the Burger King lady, and it was a good organization. I ain't gonna lie, they took care of us because Magic came from the league, so he knew how to, you know what I'm saying? They knew how to kind of take care of the players, and it was Corey Hightower on that team.
Oh yeah. We cooked them. Jeff Greer was the coach that year. Justice Thigpen, I remember having a hot 35 up in there. But Quad City had a great team when your stuff in Brownsville, Iowa, and they didn't have Jeff McGinnis, Jimmy King, and it was like the real deal.
I was actually when I was getting on to the Muskegon, I was actually trying to get on that team with Jimmy and them.
Yeah.
But, they gave I was actually with the Pistons that summer, bro.
Got it.
And Joey D told me, and they already gave me like, yo, Muskegon in the team, we're gonna put you in touch with Magic and them people. You just go ahead, go up there, stay busy, whatever it may be. Because I should have been with the Pistons in 04, bro.
Man, come on, man.
Honest. But you know how it goes. But let's get back to you, man. So let's show a little clip of oh, you ain't got a computer?
That's what you sent me.
Oh, I thought I just emailed you. No, you didn't send me anything. My bad. Well, we ain't gonna play that clip yet because that's gonna be down the line. Let me get him this clip, bro. You know how I be online. Let me get him this clip. Let me get him this clip. But other than that, man, so let the people know where you from, man, and how you really, honed your game, and who really taught you the ropes, and we're gonna get into your pro career a little bit down the line because everybody be ready to quick to ask those questions.
No doubt.
What's your foundation, man?
Man, come on, man. The streets was my foundation.
Let them know where you from too, man.
Yeah, I'm from Jackson. Yeah, Jackson, Michigan, man. Shoot, they call it Prison City. We call it right between Detroit and Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of tradition and history, some positive, some negative, man. But we had so much talent. A lot of people paved the way before me. And
Uh-huh.
so, obviously, if you don't know, Tony Dungy, the first African American Super Bowl winning championship coach, is from my hometown. So, we seen the standard when I was younger. And
Uh-huh.
so I just, played a lot of street ball, man. And it was on east side, south side. My dad was a doggone good street player that came up from Kentucky. But my two oldest brothers, man, my brother Jeremy Hester, my brother Kenyante, that was 11 months older than me, man. They were really, really talented. So I got that spurring, in competition from the both of them. And then honestly, just like I said, honing my skills. And then I had a relative through marriage, David Holmes, was a big time player. Was one of the first guys that I seen went to the Big Ten, went to Detroit, to Northwestern, and just saw him playing in high school outside of street basketball, and never realized why he stopped playing street ball, because he had a pathway to get to the next level. So that was outstanding, man. And just putting in work, one-on-one sessions in the snow. You know what I'm saying? Planning, grown men one-on-one, just honing my skills. I was one of those guys like Kobe, man. Play one-on-one is how you get your game tight and your mind right. And that
Yeah.
just kind of carried over, into the high school level, that carried over to the college level. And yeah, and also I got to give a shout out to my big bro, Steve Smith. Steve Smith used to come back and play me one-on-one my first year playing, when he was the starting point guard for the Atlanta Hawks. And was like, yeah, I heard you the next great one. Let's get this work in, young fella. So he showed me how to be able to play against big guards, small guards, and still be really, really, productive.
Yeah. No, Steve was a great also, man. You know what I mean? He
Oh, yeah.
definitely used to come back and get it in with us up at State. And I told you that's when I was definitely
Yeah,
transferred over to
yeah,
State, man. So
yeah.
got to build a little relationship with him, man. And that's that
Mhm.
State, man. We're gonna get to that, man. That's so in high school, who was your battles, man? Who was coming out when you was coming out? Who was
Yeah.
your guys that that you was like, dang, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So when we came out, man, the Capital Area Conference called the CAC. I felt like it was neck and neck with with, I think it's the PSL Detroit League.
Mm-hmm.
And so, no disrespect to like Flaganall, you know what I'm saying, and Saginaw and those surrounding areas, but the staple was Lansing, and then the staple, was obviously Detroit. So the Capital Conference, man, in my league, I think we had about 6 teams that was ranked in the state. So my rivalry was Lansing Sexton. Most people used to say that it was Everett, because Magic Johnson said that his
Right.
greatest battle was obviously Parkside
Right,
at Jackson
right.
High. So they had a good team, but Lansing Sexton was always loaded with Saudi Washington, that's coaching at Michigan State right now,
Uh-huh.
Ramon Lau, and then East Lansing. Lansing Waverly was always pretty doggone solid. Lansing Eastern was really, really good. So every single night, and then I shout out to my boy Jason Black over at Hope. He was a one-man band crew that can get you 40 every single night. So the guard play was really strong when I was in high school. So, but I would say my rivalry was honestly with Saudi Washington, Ramon Lau, because they brought out the best out of me and Marcus Norris, where we was fortunate to win 3 CSC championships 3 years in a row. And obviously, we was ranked 2 at one time, ranked 3 at one time. In my sophomore year, we was ranked 10th in the state, but we was predicted to win it all my junior and senior year. And then you had Battle Creek, Detroit Persian, and Benton Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
So we were always right, the top 4 teams in the state.
Yeah.
My high school career.
Yeah. No. I was watching y'all battle because I was definitely at Belleville, and and I want to say maybe your senior year.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know YG, my godfather, man, but he a loyal dude, man.
Right.
So it's when I was in junior high, they tried to get me playing high school, but they was allowing it for a while, earlier years, but they stopped it. I don't know, because Mike Garland, my godfather, who coached, coached you also, tried to get me up. So when I got in 9th grade, shit, I'm about to be on varsity. Nobody,
right?
But he was loyal to this coach guy who played for him forever, which I can't be mad at, man. I guess you know what I'm saying, because I understood the loyalty, and then when you grow up, you know, you get a little older, you kind of understand, like, dang,
Yeah.
he knew I was gonna be here, so there was this last hoorah. You know what I mean? It was his senior year, last hoorah. Let him go ahead and get this. He been here for 3 years already. Why let him go his 4th year, right?
Right.
So I would have definitely had a chance to, I think my freshman year, give you that work though, man. I would have gave you that work. No,
Listen.
no, you had game though, bro. I ain't gonna
No,
lie, man. You was
Hey,
one of
listen,
the
I would
dudes,
have
man.
loved to have you, young fella. Like, listen, man, I wanted any wood that wanted to be present itself. You feel what I'm saying? It didn't matter who you was, and that's what I think separated me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
Detroit Persian was supposed to have been the model,
Yeah.
and I went up to the ABCD camp with Willie Mitchell and Ty Bergen, and my shout out to my boy Carlos Williams. He was with me with the Pistons, but man, I was going at everybody. So humbly, I was ranked the #1 player in the state. And
Right.
I told John Garvalia, my teammate, give me my Mr. Basketball trophy because y'all cut the check and paid all these writers. So, like, listen, man. Yeah. Yeah. No doubt.
You know how it go, bro.
Yep.
You just know how it go. So from there, man. So who was recruiting you in high school, man,
Yeah.
and what made you really? I know, you know, home is hard to leave, especially when you got some, you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's
I
hard to
got
leave,
you. I
but
got you, man.
who all
Yeah.
was recruiting you, man, and what made you make the decision to be at Michigan State, my guy?
Yeah, so I kind of remember like my junior year, man. We have it's called the Jackson Dream Team, and
Mhm.
I was the first junior in history that ever make the Dream Team. Kind of on the whole town, they had you probably remember Montier Galasper that went to Albion that
Yep.
lost to Chris Webber in
Yep.
the championship,
Yep.
and
Yep.
my cousin Marcus Norris went on to star at Ball State, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yep.
when I saw this article had came out, they said I would probably be one, if not the #1 recruited player out of state,
Mm.
and I had a huge summer that summer. And next thing you know, man, I humbly I got recruited by everybody in America outside of Duke, which I'm cool with that.
Mhm.
I was a little bit disappointed. The only school in the ACC at that time that gave me like direct calls, but gave me a lot of mail was North Carolina.
Mhm.
But outside of that, I got recruited heavily by everybody. And people have to understand back in our era, it was regions. And so we didn't have TV media coverage like ESPN would, obviously have a time where they recruit the West Coast, Midwest and the South. So Midwest teams obviously knew that they had a greater chance to get us instead of teams down in Texas, et cetera, et cetera. So my top 10, I do remember my top 10. It was Kansas, Georgetown, Michigan State, UCLA. I had LSU on the back burner.
Mm.
I had North Carolina State. I was interested in Clemson and University of Arizona. So those were like my top 10, and it boiled down for me because of in Minnesota. My apologies, in Minnesota, and it boiled down because of honestly, we probably get to that what happened with my brother, but I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure because of what happened to my brother and what was going on in my personal life. I wanted my parents to be able to have the access to be able to see me and
Mhm.
still be able to impact my community, impact my home environment, to play. Now it was
Yeah.
really difficult
Yeah.
on that decision between Michigan State and Michigan. I literally flipped a quarter, and it landed on obviously for me to go to MSU because it was that difficult. Unfortunately, my mother and my dad didn't understand the recruiting process, so it was kind of
It's
me
like
kind of
that.
navigating that
Mhm.
alone, quote unquote, a little bit with my AAU coach. But if I could go back based on my situation, I definitely could have. I should have probably went to Georgetown
Mhm.
first, and then probably Minnesota, and you say third. If I could go back and do it again.
Right, man. I mean, you worked hard to get those letters. Not people don't understand just because you're a good player in Michigan doesn't mean you automatically,
Yeah.
gonna get a scholarship here, get a chance to go to these places. You have to be seen at these certain spots in the world for
Mhm.
these eyes to come and see you play, to be able to put you with amongst these players that they've seen across the nation. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, man. And
Mhm.
what social media has it kind of softened that a little bit because
Man.
Sometimes you think a kid is good by just being in these AAU realms and they only playing these certain teams and not even trying to play these other teams to. So you can get by. I've seen it.
Yeah, you can, because social media now, which if I had social media in my day and I had the opportunity to go to the league, I would have put my chances on going to the league just on my athleticism alone.
right.
But now social media and technology, you can speed up videos, slow the videos, and you can make your highlight thing look so incredible, right? And then once you get to play against that player, you're like, this guy's nothing that I saw on video, which is totally different. So I'm just old school. I like to feel it. I like to see it myself. You know what I'm saying? And we just cut from that cloth.
And what those videos not showing, man, is that heart, really, bro. When you
come on, man.
when somebody who's actually good, like somebody who's actually giving you adversity, and that's what they don't understand. That's what a coach respect even more, because if they see you are good, and then they see somebody else kind of can match that, but they seeing you have a little adversity, then you overcome that. That makes them even see like, oh yeah, he is the truth, because I knew it's gonna be tough for him, but he got a chance to overcome that. So yeah, man, let's hit on that a little bit, man, because motivating factors is we all need those things in life, man. So while you was coming up, getting ready to go to college and make these decisions in the world, man, you was hitting on your brother and a couple other things, man. So enlighten us a little bit. Was your brother a definite motivating factor for you? Because you're telling the people your brother's not here, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I lost my brother, man. I was a sophomore year in high school, really starting to, make a name for myself on a really, great team, ranked team. And he was unfortunately, murdered by, quote unquote, was supposed to be his best friend. I tell people my brother was just as talented as me, if not more talented. I feel like he could have been on the same path that me and you was blessed to go on as players. He was, I call him, he was like a Stephon Marbury player back then, that type of size back then. And he's got the wounds. He was here for 3 days, man. And I literally rolled past the whole incident after leaving that game that he was supposed to attend. My brother, obviously, where we come from, he gravitated towards the streets because of circumstance, situations and stuff like that. And it was some guys that came from California that's quote unquote were real bloods that started to embed that type of behavior in our community. And sometimes you can get lost in the shuffle based on circumstance, right? Wanting things that you cannot attain. And so, that was the toughest situation to see your brother with 6 bullets in his body and holding your hand, and literally saw, I tell people, I literally held my brother's hand when he looked at me when the heart machine was flatlining when they rushed in and walked me out as a 15-year-old young teenager. And my brother was literally 11 months older than me, wasn't even a year apart from me. So looking at me is almost like looking at my brother. We looked that much alike.
Right.
And that was, that could have had me go negative or positive. And so I'm thankful that I went the direction of positive, to let that inspire me, to motivate me to even take on to another different level. And this is what I shared in my documentary. When I'm holding my brother's hand, because a week prior to that, sometimes we can speak things that we don't even understand. And my mother literally said, we were walking out of the house with the shooter, and she said, "You're going to be the death of my son." And we both looked at each other and was kind of like, where did that come from?
Right.
And a few days later, me and my brother had a conversation about him getting back in school, us playing ball, us trying to get to college and hopefully pro, because we was big Joe Dumars, Isaiah Thomas guys. That was our dream to be able to accomplish that. On my brother's deathbed that night, I grabbed his hand with him squeezing with tubes in his mouth, looking at me, nodding his head. I said, we're going to go to college together. I need you to get out this bed. We're going to graduate from college. We're going to go pro, and we're going to come back and give back to the community. And by God's grace and mercy, I was able to do that, man. But unfortunately, without my brother.
Well, look, man, sorry to hear that, but you always got a brother in me, man. And it seems like, man, that was your motivating factor, right? So a lot of people, man, get down on themselves and don't think they can continue what they supposed to do. You know what I mean? And what they was put here for. And I know going through a tragedy like that, I know it can shake up some things and make you kind of be like, dang, man.
Yeah.
You wanted to do it what you've been doing, but that extra energy that was attached to you, is not there. Your other motivating source that, you know what I mean, man?
Man, listen. When you had so many people that, looked up to him, in the streets looked up to him, all those same people, because they lost him because he was connected. This was during the round finals. We had almost 1,000 people at his funeral, man. Imagine that. And so all those people gravitated towards me. I felt like I lost a lot of myself in that. And I was playing broken. I was playing hurt, and I was playing angry because I didn't understand that. You understand what I'm saying? And then you start getting all that, attention from, people, fans. I had, I'm not going to say his name, but, a couple of agents that already knew I had a chance to go to the NBA was coming down, and it was so much on me and so fast because I still was not mourning from such a hard loss and didn't understand a loss like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had to flip the switch and didn't want to end up the same casualty like that. I'm not going to go too deep into what took place after that, but it just inspired me to go even harder, man, even harder in the game.
Man, that's what's up, man. Salute, man. The world's definitely a better place that you're here, my brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
For sure. For sure, man. Well, we're going to speed it up then, man. Salute to you and all the stuff you're doing, man. I know you used to drop them all, man. We got one clip here, man, that I guess we could put together. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Gets it into the front court and gets it to Chris Porter, who has the hot hand right now. Over to Kevin Rice. Michael Johnson open, starter step, and takes the shot from 20, misses. Dickie Simpkins with the rebound. We're going the other way. Ray Weathers has it. Miles Simon on him. Oh, what a behind-the-back dribble to fake him out. And Weathers hands a jumper. How about that? I think we found...
Wow, you know what I mean? Tell me a little about that. Who was all on the court right there, man? And what was going on? And was that the playoffs, or was that just because back then, man, the CBA, games was live, bro.
You saw it.
Certain teams was rivals, so fans knew what it was. It's nothing different than the league. They just didn't see it on TV all the time, unless you was in that city or that team who had that market with that. You know what I mean? Then you could see it or whatever, right?
Yeah, man. So that was a CBA championship game. And back then, the championship game was like a series. It was a one game take all, but each round was like the best out of 5, and then the championship was like one, like the NCAA tournament. So it's amazing when you look at the talent on the court. You had Stacey King, my coach, that was a 3-time Chicago Bulls championship player. You had Dickie Simpkins that actually was on that team that was a 3-time NBA champion, was my teammate. Then you have Jeff Sanders that also was a part of the Chicago Bulls organization. Terrence Shannon Sr. was a rookie on my team. Now his son is with the Minnesota Timberwolves, okay? And then I think you had Kelly McClure that got a cup of coffee as far as looking at NBA. And on the other side was a coach that I ended up playing for, which was Dave Yeager, that coached with the Grizzlies. On that team, you had Miles Simon. I'm sorry, Miles, but I didn't mean to put you in the pin top, but that was Miles Simon and guard me. He was the MVP of the league. Crazy. They had Wayne Turner, that was national championship guy from Kentucky. You had, what's his name? Cornell James, that played at Minnesota for Clem Haskins, was an amazing coach. So on that floor alone, we had Lazarius Sims, starting championship point guard for Syracuse. You feel what I'm saying? So we had about 7, 8 guys that actually played in the NBA on that team, and everybody else was at a Power 5 college on those rosters, man. So absolutely.
Man, yeah, that's big time, man. That's some big players who all played in the league and, like you say, got rings.
Yeah.
So for a guy like myself and like yourself, man, let the people know how hard you even got to work to be on that level, because you don't get the extra little stuff you get out of the league, man. You got that's like a grind right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tell them the work. I felt those levels was probably a little bit harder.
I think they were harder. Like
Yeah,
I'm
like
keep it one.
okay,
I'm keep it
I don't want to disrespect our league and our
no, man.
league,
Listen, if
but
I'm
that is the trenches right there, B.
come on, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Like it is what it is. I've been in 3 NBA teams, vet camps, and I know what it is, right?
Right.
So for me, it was nothing new because in my conference in the Big Ten, everybody was all Americans or just all staters, and then went to the league overseas. So I'm already playing against that talent. But the CBA, for real, like I tell everybody, it's the hardest thing you ever done because you had to have 2 or 3 tryouts then even make it a roster. So you got the mini camp that leads to the veteran camp that leads to the final veteran camp that leads to you making a roster. And you talk about 2 days for a whole week straight. So, and you have to be great and special every single time. And the thing is that I try to tell people, if you're not playing, you know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to get caught up out of there or get a 6-figure contract or a great contract to leave on, right?
Right.
And so like you're playing against your teammates every single day in practice. You have to perform in the game, or somebody else will come in. You can get cut from an injury at any type of job of a dime. You get put on an injury reserve. If an NBA veteran got kicked out the league, he will come to your team, and guess what? If your game ain't tight, you sitting down. So, and I had appreciation for that. That's why I said I just seen red, man. I had my checklist every single time that I had to play against somebody with my matchups, but I had to prepare myself, more importantly, physically. That's where people don't understand that. Spiritually and mentally, your mind's got to be right, and then your skill set. This is where the carryover, translates into playing at a level like the CBA. And then when you get to the NBA situation, it's a lot of politics involved in that. I tell people all the time, like when I got to the league, man, like some guys that we seen had the freedom to be who they was, but then they went into something that could have been bigger and stronger and faster that they never got a chance to play in the Big Ten Conference. I'm like, I thought this guy was that tall or that talented, but he actually really wasn't. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, wow. But when you get there, if the staff want you and believe in you, sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with your game. And I learned that, as a pro, my pro career.
Facts, man. That's just another level right there, though, man. You know what I mean? When people feel, how some dudes would just be balling and then they be like, "Oh, CBA can't ball." That was, I guarantee your ass couldn't ball in that league, let alone talk about dudes in the NBA.
Come on, man.
They could ball somewhere, man. I don't call no league semi. If you're getting paid, you're a professional. So I don't even degrade a basketball league. You're a professional if you're getting paid.
If it's $5 and they paying, you getting paid.
Semi-pro is pro dudes who's not actually getting paid. So people getting that twisted. There's some teams out here that they're getting like sponsored, they get paid for their travel and all this other stuff. That's semi-pro.
That's semi-pro.
You getting paid, you're a professional. Like
Every 2 weeks you get a check, or every month, depending on the platform, right? But people don't know the CBA was the team that was actually playing in the Olympics.
Yeah.
The CBA players was playing in the Olympics, and then when we started, finishing the bronze and silver, this is when the rules changed. And they said, well, we're playing against pros that's been pros from high school level to pro, so we need to make sure we send our best because you got your best. And this when the NBA commissioner said we're going to send our best, our actually NBA players to start playing in the Olympics.
Okay.
That's some history right there.
No, that's what the people need to know, though, because like I said, when we repost this, and is hella views gonna go up, bro. When we repost this and people rewatch it, this is the stuff they need to know. Because when I break this footage down and then do my promos of the week and stuff, man, that's when really people tune in to take heed to what you're saying. So, but before we take heed to that, man, there's people in the world out here. You know what I mean, bro? Just rock with me right here. There's people in the world out here who got horrible hygiene. You know what I'm saying? And if they're trying to get their hygiene a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? Or if your shave ain't right and you don't like the shaver you have, you might want to go to Go Nuts, man. My body groomer. I got a special body groomer out here in the world. And Go Nuts is if you want to go to, you might want to go to www.com and hit that promo Chief One Love, and then you get an extra discount. But we got a little skit for you after Go Nuts. Stay with me.
I got a smooth pair of acorns hanging from my branch. See? My ball smooth as your head now, baby. Watch out now.
Ooh.
Hey, that's wild. That's the crazy one. But I got another one for you guys. But this is the one because it kind of tend to cater to what we're talking about.
I wanna be a baller, shot caller. I don't want blaze pulling on my ball bush. I'm trying to get paid tonight. She say let's close night, let's a shave tonight. We hit the highway. Help you 'cause it's not okay. You gotta help me find a better blade, yeah.
Yeah, man. For all y'all people who need a great shave, you can just go to Go Nuts, and it's no pulling, no cuts, no scratches. It's the smoothest shave in all the sensitive areas on your body. Go to www.gonuts.com. Put that Chief One Love in there, and you'll get a nice primo discount. Check us out. But yeah, get back to this conversation with my guy Ray Weathers in the build.
Yes,
Man.
Yes.
So we done got to that, man. So I know you got some things going on before we even get to more basketball stuff. I know you always in the community, man. I know your city love you. Your city. See, what people need to understand is not a lot of guys get to go and live their dreams in any form of fashion, right? And who may care, who may not, right? But if you got very few from your city who's trying to lead the way for more eyes to come to your city, you definitely should be celebrated just for that reason, because it's put more eyes in your city for other guys to go to the next level. And I know of Jackson. I don't know who was your biggest basketball baller before you, like you said, your brother was, but I know you've been putting on for Jackson, man. So what's the community efforts you got going on? I know you in your city, and you got do a Ray Jackson Day, or you already had that day, or what's going on in your city and how you maneuvering in your community?
Man, I appreciate that. Yeah, so like I said, I respect every high school player, junior high player, every person that went to different levels of the game before me, and so I just kind of followed the blueprint. And honestly, I wanted to start my own, where I wanted to create a vacuum influence where college coaches come look at the talent coming from Jackson. Right. Sometimes we can get overlooked from Flint, Jackson, et cetera, et cetera. So, but I used to come back, man, and I started my company. It was called D1 Development. D1 Development is exactly what that means, to develop people to be D1 people, but also, athletes and student athletes first. And then I'm going to have a all-star game while we're bringing some, NBA players, guys from U of M, Michigan State. Coach Izzo came down, and the Fab Five guys will come down and really have an all-star weekend to give back to the community, not just from a basketball perspective, but I formed a great alliances with Henry Ford, Allegiance Hospital. At that time, they were Allegiance Hospital, to be a bridge for the African-American community based on health. And they will come up, set up a shop. I formed a great relationship with Myers, which is now a Big Ten sponsor for the Big Ten Network.
Yeah.
And also, Target, and then the Jackson Foundation, the King Center, and the YMCA, to give back to some kids that was less fortunate to be able to attend the camp. And then just wanted people from small businesses to form a relationship with big businesses. So I will have a business network dinner to let us to mingle and talk about, what's going on in the community, how we can grow, and how we can support each other. And I did that three times, man. It was very, very successful, man. And so now, fast forward, I'm doing something with my wife that I shared with you. Her name is Angela Weathers. She's a juggernaut in the game as a player, as a business owner. It's called Train Up a Champion Leadership Institution. This is something that I went through my own self. If I could have had it when I was in high school or as a pro athlete, I would be a multi-millionaire right now. And it's pretty much preparing young people to be student athletes, understanding diversity and inclusion, understanding that you are a brand and been a brand. That's why they have the Neil space today. Can you imagine if we had Neil in our era? We're talking a whole different conversation. So bringing that, she was able to matriculate that into the educational system. And what we saw behaviors change. We seen test scores change. We've seen the athletic component change. And so that right there, we're preparing people on a career pathway to be successful. So
Okay.
now we're looking to, she's been doing this way prior to me, before I came into the equation, but now we want to bring something back to the community on a greater scale with a all-star event, not just based on athletics, but we're talking about digital capacity, understanding the, digital systems, cybersecurity, media relationships, like when we had trade school. Okay. So we want to be able to come back and bring some different venues and events back to the community. And then I know we're going to probably pit off into my RW5 clubs that I'm going to be bringing back. It's going to be on a whole different level. And I'm also going to be doing that out here in Arizona. So I know we're going to talk about that later on down the road as well.
Dope, man. That's dope, man. So you have a lot going. We're gonna pillage over into this media world. You were speaking about the media world, and I know you got a real story, bro. And I know we hitting a lot of points because we don't have the time to talk about everything, right?
Right.
But you have a real story for people to really understand who you are, who you know what I'm saying. If anybody even misunderstood, to get the real story. I wanted you to be able to sit on here and really tell your truths in a life. And I know you said you're doing a movie documentary. I know you said you got some platforms that's reaching out to you, like Hulu and other media platforms, and you want to take this also across seas. And people don't understand how big that stuff is and how hard it is to actually do. But when you can put your mind to it, and you got all the components in there, everything God work in your favor. But talk a little bit about your trailer. And before we even get to that, can we pop that up here real quick? That his trailer. I want people, before you speak on.
Awesome. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's helped me. I mean, who knows? I wouldn't be here maybe if it wasn't for the Ray Weathers of the world.
I really believe Ray would have been a 10-year NBA player if he just didn't have that baggage with him.
Like, we was always told that one of us would make it, one of us would be in and out of prison, and one of us would be dead.
So next thing you know, the heart machine was beeping and it flatlined.
Once he gets some happiness and understands that, there's different things in life than basketball, then I think he'll be happy.
The dark squad, the green squad, leading scorer with 18 points, Ray Weathers.
I never felt more alive, like hearing earth, wind, and fire. Got me lost in the tunes as I'm twisting up the pine now. Blasting it through the walls in the fortress. Now the name is banging on the walls at the fortress. Mother said it was too loud. Opened the door, pointed and told him to get out. Sparked up Dutchie and I cooled out. Man, turn up that what they talking about.
I respect what Coach Izzo is doing and Ray Weathers is doing, and that's why I'm here, to be a part of it, to show my support.
When he was coming down to King Center, when I worked down there, he was a beast then, and he was helping other kids at King Center.
He's definitely the man who sets his mind on something and goes for it.
I just came in one day, 2 days, got it done.
Ray's he's a spot in our community, a light to the young people in general. Keep up the good work, Mr. Weathers.
All right, so I'm just really excited to get an opportunity. It's not only Jackson, but to the whole world, man, to kind of introduce my family. Some guys that's from Jackson, Michigan, man. They call Outer Sound. We got my boy Miles Young.
Yeah. I see you, man. You got your story. That was cool, man. That was good. So, what do we expect from that trailer in that movie, man?
Man, I appreciate it. Yeah, so I appreciate it. So that came out, man. Time has gone by about 10 plus years ago, man, and we shot that at the Michigan Theater, which is a renowned place, kind of like the Apollo, holds about 2,000, seats in that place, and never got a chance to go in that place. But one time, as a kindergarten, watching 100 Dalmatians, man, we always wanted to get back, and they had a lot of artists, musicians from Tupac that has performed in this place. So that seeing your name on a marquee, you know what I'm saying, that was incredible.
So you said Tupac performed there?
Yeah, a lot of artists have performed at the Michigan
that's
Theater.
dope.
So, yeah, like real
Yeah,
incredible. So that I got love for the place. They're going to be doing something with the relaunch of the doc, which we're going to clean it up. But they came out, had almost 1,000 people showed up to the premiere. The movie Hoop Dreams organization out of Chicago found out, already knew who I was as a pro player. They actually signed me to a media contract because they wanted to, take this documentary to get distribution and all that. Now, current to the day, we put it on the back burner. We wanted to. I'm not the same person that you saw in that, in that documentary. So I'm much better, and I got more stories to tell. So
Right.
now I was blessed to have Hulu reach out.
Okay.
Reach out to me, and the producer. They're looking for more content. Obviously, they was purchased by Disney. They're looking for more African American content, and because of my basketball pedigree, they feel like this could be a very successful documentary. And so for now, the goal is to take that information that's in the doc, do a whole new one, kind of currently talk about what I am. I'll have more NBA players in the doc that talk about the basketball side, but we're going to dig deep a little bit more about some of the things that I've endured up until this point that's going to lead to a feature film on the lines of The Blind Side. My story way back, had an opportunity to meet the people from HBO, and they felt like my story was very similar to like an episode like The Wire, and actually offered me a deal like a 15, 20 plus episode during that particular time. But the timing was not right for my life. And so now we're here. We're here to actually big budget, A-list actors to start rolling out this thing to do the movie, a feature film on my life on the lines of The Blind Side. That would obviously impact nationally and internationally.
Dang.
Big, yeah, real big. Like, yeah, when I come back, it's we coming filming. It's gonna be unbelievable. We're gonna shoot a little bit up in Detroit, Jackson, East Lansing, where I played, and then we're gonna close it out in Arizona. So the script first treatment is already done, and so now we got to add some different tiers to that. But oh yeah, it's gonna be.
Man. I hope you had your boy Chief to that, man, because I got
We
stories
gonna have
to
you
tell about you too, man. You feel me? You gotta, I definitely got to play a role in that one right there.
Hey, it's crazy that you say that because I want to be able to have like some OGs that played at a level that still can move around, and a part of the scene where you've seen in like the younger generation. So yeah, so count it so. Count it so.
Oh yeah, man. Put me out there with the young dudes right now.
Yes, sir.
Right now. We
Yes,
ready
sir.
right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. But I definitely want to say salute to you, man, and all the things you got going on, bro, because people don't understand how hard it is to navigate the water after you're done playing for a while, and you gotta put your other thinking cap on and really navigate a different type of life, because we wasn't living a civilian life for, you know what I mean, a while. So getting back to the civilian, we're still like civilians. We're kind of accepted and we're not. So we're like in between, man, just because you know how the world go, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
But so question here. When you stepped into the realms of the NBA, who was giving you a little work? Who was giving you some work, man? Giving you a little work. It could be game, practice, or whatever, man. Like who was giving you work that people may know a little bit? Not saying all the time, but they hit you off, bro, that you can.
Yeah. I took pride in my defense, but I say the toughest challenge matchup that I had was Joe Johnson, man.
Johnson.
Joe Johnson, very similar style of game to mine, but he's 6'7", I'm 6'4", you know what I'm saying? So like we really went at it, but he can do so much on the basketball court. And then another player that was really difficult for me to guard, not guard, but obviously he's 6'7", Michael Finley. And if people don't they need to look Mike Finley up. He was an all-star in the NBA for the Mavericks, great player for the Suns, and he was a superstar at Wisconsin. So I would say Joe Johnson was a tough matchup. But the biggest surprise to me, shout out to my boy Penny Hardaway, man. Like, was everything, and Penny was still incredibly tough to deal with on two bad knees with the Phoenix Suns, and he was actually my partner that slept, sat next to me on the airplane, man, and used to give me the 1 cent Nike Penny Hardaway shocks. And growing up being a fan of his and stuff like that, it was still kind of surreal to actually, talk to him and learn from him, and for him to say some of the things he said about me as a player, man. He was like, man, there's no way you should be an all-star in our league. And coming from Penny, man, our peers are getting the approval of our peers. That's all that matters in the game. He literally said that, you know what I'm saying? So, like, shout out to Penny and Grant.
Yeah, for sure, man. You've been around some true legends in the game, and some true, to even get a little ounce of wisdom, or even just to be next to them to get whatever they do in their life to prepare themselves for the game. You get a chance to get an inside look, and that's what people don't understand, and that's what's so sacred about being in the NBA and our sport, because you never know who actually come through the doors and actually get them a chance. Just because the world don't know you, or the world don't know, you know what I mean? It'd be like, hey, you try to no, he really got a chance to be a part of.
Yeah. They don't see behind the lens. Yeah, they don't see behind the lens, bro, because you was there, done that, should have been there. They don't see the body of work that goes on behind that process. Here it is. I grew up watching the Detroit Pistons bad boys and dreamed of playing for the Pistons. I'm sitting across, like talking to you, with Joe Dumars, signing with his agent, and he's preparing me on the NBA. You feel what I'm saying? And like hearing the stories about guarding Michael Jordan or X, Y, and Z, and then here it is playing with Grant Hill as my veteran, right? Still have a lot of love for him to today. And he said the same thing. There's no way when you get your peers, Sadell Thrick, my mentor, getting that insight.
Was Grant Hill in Phoenix too? He was there for a while.
Grant Hill was the superstar. Grant Hill at Detroit Pistons when I went there.
No, but I'm saying when you was in Phoenix, Grant Hill was there for a while. Was you there while he was there?
No, when I was here, my guy was Amari Stoudemire. So Stoudemire was second year, Sean Marion, Nate the Matrix. You had Scott Williams, Tom Gludiata. People don't remember how cold Tom Gludiata was. He was an all-star with KG at the 4.
Right.
Stephon Marbury was obviously the guy. Leandro Barbosa was a rookie. Yep. So it was a really talented team, and Joe Johnson was on that squad as well.
Yeah, no, that's dope, man. You've been with a few teams, and what people don't get is being with these teams and getting your chance. It doesn't just come like that, man. Once you in the realm is good, you got to get in first though, right? And they don't understand to get in. There's a lot of people that get a trial, but it's different. Once you in, you get that work, right? You getting brought in at this time, at this moment. When you not in, you just trying. You just trying to see something. But once you in, you already know where you trying to be at that next year. And that's what a lot of people. And there's so many ways to be in the NBA, and that's another thing people don't understand. It's so many ways to say you've been in the league, even besides just playing. But dude, it's a well-rounded fraternity, and it's a cool place to be, man. Once you understand what it is. But man, I want to definitely keep saluting you, man, and all the things you're doing, all the things you have going on. It's so many things I actually still want to just touch. I think we would be on here for 2 hours flat, which we could be, man. But I know DJ Jamie James Flanagan over here, he ain't gonna be here for another hour.
I got you. Yes, sir.
Regardless of how he messed with me and he fucked with me heavily, that's my guy over there. But he ain't gonna be here another hour. No, but I just want to touch on some more quick points, man. I want to send a quick salute to you and your family. Because I know you have a son with autism, and I just want to just touch on that briefly. Nothing deep, nothing. I just you just let the people know what they should kind of know and what to deal with, and how you triumph and you overcame, and your son is thriving, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, so anybody that is listening, obviously, it's a renowned story that we had a Michigan State player that was autistic that actually made our team as a walk-on. He's actually working for one of the biggest organizations in the country dealing with autism. Okay. Yeah, incredible story. And he said that he, honestly has a lot of respect for me because he heard about my son, having autism, high functioning, still very capable to have a normal life and be independent, which my son is. And so he's went through some trials and tribulations early on that honestly could have hindered him from flourishing even more. But the power of prayer, networking, love and relationships has had him flourish in that capacity. But I'm really, really passionate about that because sometimes we can look at, people that have autism as not normal or being independent, and we treat them differently. And so what I'm trying to teach my son, and hopefully anybody that I can impact in this space through the basketball game, through the arena game, to really love on them and give them freedom to really be who they are and express themselves and support their journey. So very fortunate and blessed. My wife, is our first son together, and obviously he has a baby brother. So his name is Caleb Weathers. I think he has a chance, if he wants to play the game, he'd be able to do that at a very high level. He'd be bigger and stronger and taller than me. Their mother was a great player. She's almost 6 foot and was an all-star in her own right, much better player than I. Oh, she was a better player than both of us. She was the real deal, bro. Like, you gotta get her. When I say getting her on the show,
right?
Oh, it's gonna go through the roof for you. So I'm letting you know right now. Set it up.
Bro. Do that.
Yeah.
We gotta have that.
Yeah. She
gotta have woman power. Can't be on here with just man power.
They're running the world right now, man. She was Dallas Businesswoman of the Year. Mark Cuban said he hired her to be a part of his G League team and said she was the best trainer in the country. So that being said, she's broken some boundaries and histories. And so us having our children together has been really, fortunate and blessed. But we
y'all low-key a power couple on the low, but y'all trying to use Granny. That's what's up.
So we really are, man. We really are. And I don't like taking credit for her. I always try to give credit to the Lord and to her and what she's done in transforming me. But we need to be able to show that more as us as African Americans and athletes, right? Because you see all the bad stuff that takes place. But going back to my son and autism, I want to be able to have influence, to impact in that arena, along with mental health. As I've spoken to you, you're starting to see Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, multiple athletes really talking about the head space. If your head ain't tight, your game ain't going to be tight. And then the body will follow. So really impacting mental health that, obviously, autism, people who are autistic, obviously deals with a lot of mental things too, because they're never looked at the same, right? So those are two things in 2025 that I'm really passionate about, impacting the autism arena, the mental health arena, and also just networking. As a former athlete, you said something about 10 minutes ago. It is hard when you have to pivot and then the ball starts bouncing and then all the people are gone. And a lot of people, athletes, go into depression, stress, anxiety because they didn't prepare or don't know what that is. And so my testimony, my story is going to touch on that because I didn't even know what PTSD was.
Right.
We just was learned to just keep pushing, keep working, keep going hard, and not dealing with some of the internal things that we've endured as a person first, because we're human, and then as an athlete, right? And I want to say this too. Imagine playing Michigan on CBS, ESPN, in front of 16,000 people at their place, and a tragedy happens in your household that you just get wind of. And then you got to go perform as a star player on your team, the go-to guy. And then you got fans, they don't care. They cussing you out, saying derogatory stuff towards you. And they don't understand that we have real emotions and we go through real things. I had to do that a plethora of times. So when you talk about that headspace, bro, we gotta start saying it's a safe place to really talk about that.
Yeah, man, you telling the truth, bro. And that's, people need to hear this, bro. Hey, for real, because you never know who going through it, been through it, and need to hear this to get their message out. And that's one reason why I really wanted to have you on the show, man, because you do have a story. You was a great player, and you still are a great player, man.
Thank you,
Even though you're not playing it like professionally, but you're a great person, man. And there's only proof through life, right? Because after you're done playing, what you gonna do, right? So you was able to connect with the people to continue your legacy. And that's what's important for a lot of us guys who've been on a certain level, just to continue the legacy and our passion through something we can't continue playing, but we can continue connecting through others and helping them find their lane, even if it's not in sports. And that's the great thing about sports. You can start off right there, but everybody might not end off right there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the good thing about it is you got people like us. You know what I'm saying? People like yourself. So man, I definitely want to, give you a big salute, man. There's so many more other things I can actually say and give you kudos to and credit to. But before we get off this show here, do you have that I know you said you have a league out there in Arizona.
Yeah, club team RW5. Yep.
Do you got that? So
Yeah.
one more time. I'm gonna put it when I post them, and they're gonna see it on the thing too, man. So that tryout is coming up, and that league is.
So yeah, we're starting up on January 4th, and I'm starting my own RW5 club teams. It's 3rd grade to 8th grade, girls and boys club. We want to give back to make sure that they're developing on the court and off the court, and really having a real platform to develop, so they can start getting recruited at the highest level based on the relationships that we and I have formed throughout the game, man. So I'm 10 toes down with this, because we have to be tangible to also not just tell, but also demonstrate. And so we can build a powerhouse program, not because of who I am, because of who I've been created to be, to give these kids hope, inspiration, to supersede what I've done in life. And so that's my mission, to be able to really impact this generation. And I want to give you flowers before I close too, man, because I know a little bit about your testimony and your journey as a player, but now understanding who you are as a person. We know that you should have had a 10-year NBA career just like myself, but it wasn't meant, or it would have been, but it's exactly what you're doing now, right? To inspire people through who you are as a man, who you were as a player, still a player, and what you're doing as a businessman. So it's been so great to connect, because I know my history. I knew you was that real one. You didn't have Team Flight, bro. Like, you was a Flight Jordan guy.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know about Michael Jordan, the Air Jordan Flight Club. Let's be real. Before we had this other true brand, you had to come through that Jordan Flight Club.
You had to come through there. If you didn't come through there, you weren't getting nowhere, right? So shout out to you. You was only a small hand selected guys to do that. And so anybody that's watching this, his show, please support, please continue to sponsor and send, because it's going to continue to grow. And we need to show us that we can be able to do this and impact and network together, man. So thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, the reposts really do numbers, bro. So I'm gonna show you, like, probably a week down the line where we really do it, and then I'm gonna really promo it. And then, because we getting in the space where I got some eyes looking too. So I'm just this show right here, I was actually excited for, because you're an athlete, you're a great athlete, and you have a story to fucking tell. Excuse my French. And then the people who already know of you, your Lansing area, Jackson area, you actually got a lot of followers. So when this go out here to those areas, you probably get some more streams in, because I'm in the media world too, as far as TV, but you got some things going on, man. I'm gonna tap into, because I know you're connected, and that's the good thing about this basketball family, right? And let alone even making it on that level where we can even talk about some of the same things and relate. Not every baller can do that, and it's they only can rate. You know what I mean?
Hey, man,
there's some people we can relate to on that other level, but I can kind of.
Hey, bro, let's go make some bread, bro. Like,
I'm
gonna sit on a show. Me and you, let's go make some bread together, man. Period, and get back to our communities, man. Like, that's what I'm about right now in 2025. Let's go get some bags, because the league owe us some money for real.
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. League, college.
Yeah. Hey, anybody on this platform? My NIL space is still active.
Your what?
My NIL, Neil.
Oh yeah. Hey, let's go. Hey, all you need is the jersey, and
that's it.
Just the last name on that. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
I know I was a big market in Iowa, bro, so I already know.
I already know, man.
We come back now. All they got to do is put a retro jersey out. Let's go. They can break bread.
You got to break
that bread with me now.
Come on,
they can break that bread. They was
Weathers is catchy,
jersey in Iowa. Ooh, hey, you just started something, bro.
Come on.
Yeah, let's go, man. But let me get ready to to close this show out right here, man. It's so many more things. It's so crazy. So many more things I can actually. We can just
It's
go
all
on
good.
here.
Let's go.
But I'm definitely gonna have you on here again, man, in a few more months after or before. I know you got some major stuff coming after your movie thing, and then I know you got like you're doing this game, and I know you got some stuff coming. So I'm gonna let you build all that up before
Yes, sir.
And then about time we're gonna even level up even more here with the Chief
man.
podcast, bro.
Oh yeah, love, man.
But salute you, your family, man, your sons, and all the stuff you're doing, man, and RP to your big bro, man, and everything, man. I don't, I just definitely bow, give me that dab, bro. All love. And anything else you want to let the people know before we get off the show?
No, so just my social media platforms, which I just started back up, is Ray_Weathers555 on IG. TikTok, I have not started that platform. Obviously, Ray Weathers on Facebook, man. And so just, if you follow me on there, I want to get my social media up so you can see the service.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Say all your social medias.
Yep. So again, it's Ray Weathers with the NBA picture on there. And then it's Ray_Weathers555. That's 3 5s on IG, man. So follow me on there.
Okay, for sure, man.
All right, salute y'all. Thank you for having
bro.
me.
Appreciate you, man. All love.
Love.